low so it sounds like peace. Lay your head, let the ceiling spin. You don't have to begin again. I've been here where the air goes thin. Saw what happens when you try to win. Better stay where the walls don't move. Nothing left that you have to prove. I don't push, I pull you close till you forget what you wanted most. It's just the way of the world. Down in the dirt where the flowers bloom. It's just the way of the world. You'll feel the power of an empty room. It's
Check.
just the way of the world. Just wait a moment.
Let's do it.
Start again. You are the enemy of my friend, my friend, my friend, my friend. Take my hand, feel the current slow. I can show you what I know. Every spark only burns you out. Every dream just a longer drought. I don't lie, I just dim the flame. Give your hunger another name. Call it calm, call it letting go. Call it all that you'll never know. If you don't raise, you don't fall apart. That's the safest way to break a heart. It's just the way of the world. Down in the dirt where the flowers bloom. It's just the way of the world. You'll feel the power of an empty room. It's just the way of the world. Just wait a moment and we'll start again. You are the enemy of my friend, my friend, my friend, my friend. Stay down, stay near. I need you right here. Stay down, stay small, I'm nothing.
Check. Oh, look at that. Thank you, Barbara. We'll be up in a minute and change.
It's just the way of the world. That's what I say when you start to move. It's just the way of the world. I need you with something to lose. It's just the way of the world. Don't take a step that I can't defend. You are the enemy. My friend, my friend, my friend. If you rise, it'll disappear. If you try, got nothing here. So I call it the way of the world. Just to keep you where I can see.
All right, another 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. What's happening? Welcome to the show. It's Hal Sparks Megaworldwide. Today we've got sorrowful, sad news. I don't know if you know this, but the state fair, Trump's DC State Fair, which doesn't have statehood, but we'll let that slide for just a moment. Had to be called off, and both people that were there were asked to go home and seek shelter because it was too hot Too hot, lady, it's too hot. And they've decided to they paused it until about till it cools down, about 6 hours after sundown. That should probably be happening, and which bodes well, very well, I think, for Trump's speech tomorrow, where they're clearly going to put his diaper in the freezer overnight, probably used just to make sure that there's some moisture in it that they could freeze. And in the middle of his speech, they'll be blowing ice chunks, like just ice chips, on him the entire time. And I mean, whatever crowd is there gets stuffed, right? But he will be behind his bulletproof plexiglass shield in relative air conditioned comfort. No doubt still sweating like the swine that he is. But, you know, so much for the less than 1,000 people that are going to show up to this speech who, you know, obviously the resilient and the tough and the powerful maggots who are not afraid of heat stroke, the 6 or 7 of them that are too old to be incels and too young to be elderly, which I think is, they max out at about 27 of those people nationwide. So hopefully some of them can make the trip. Or, you know, nothing says healthcare in America like a line of ambulances waiting for people to keel over from a heat stroke in the middle of a celebration. I almost feel like there should be like a healthcare holiday on July 4th, that if you keel over during the 250, then you should get free government healthcare. Maybe you get all the treatments that the president gets, including his tri-weekly injection of retatrutide, the benzos they've got him on, whatever they're using to help him sleep, which is either Ambien or an elephant dart, probably a mix of the two, and then Diet Coke. And by Diet Coke, I don't mean the beverage. I mean retatrutide with cocaine in it. That's probably what he's on right now for his little compassionate use thing. P.S., you know, folks know I'm originally from Kentucky, right? And we have a big tortoise population that may be endangered in Kentucky right now. You know, the ones that I grew up around, the snapping turtles, which famously, if they got a hold of you, would not let go until there was a thunderclap, or until somebody in town got the clap. I don't know I never really got bit, so I didn't have to wait around for whatever that was to happen. But apparently Mitch McConnell, and this will shock next to no one, is not in great shape. He's 84 now and looks slightly older than the planet Mercury. And he's, I guess his I don't know what this is. Hellbender's newsroom, Olivia Krauth, joins him to talk about Mitch McConnell's health status as he remains hospitalized with a bad case of old as fuck.
Good evening to you. You're watching live now from Fox. My name is Alexandra Goldberg. It's good to be
hello, Alexandra Goldberg. It's wonderful.
with you tonight. Well, Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell has been hospitalized.
Oh my God. So she's got a little bit of a nasal thing. Not really good when you've got a guy named Mitch and you have a slight nasal congestion, because that comes across as bitch McConnell. Not good.
2.5 weeks, and according to a 911 call obtained by an independent journal,
He was found flat on his back near a piece of lettuce in the terrarium. Someone had forgotten to put holes in the top of the jar.
He was reportedly found unconscious at his Washington, D.C. home before being transported to the hospital.
Unconscious and requiring CPR, which is well beyond just unconscious.
New this evening, his team released this statement about his health, saying Senator McConnell appreciates the outpouring of support he's receiving while he continues his recovery in the hospital. The senator continues to...
What part of the hospital? wouldn't be the basement, would it? Sorry.
Improve and is working closely with his staff on Kentucky and Senate matters while the Senate is out of session. His condition and return to the Senate remains unclear. Well, joining us now is Olivia.
Which, in all fairness, is true of almost all Republicans right now, at least the ones that are up for election.
Olivia Krauth, Kentucky-based political correspondent for Hellbender Newsroom. Hi, Olivia. This has been, his team seems to be pretty tight-lipped about his condition and also what landed him in the hospital.
For sure. That is exactly how I would describe it. It's no secret that McConnell has had so many different health scares, some of them very public. And this is the first.
By health scares, she means the times when he did that for an extended period of time, which is gnarly.
I think in my reporting career that I've seen basically his team just say he's been hospitalized, and that's kind of it. We have not.
Yeah, because I got to tell you, at his age, with his obvious problems, I don't know what they could say that doesn't violate HIPAA other than he's fucking old and he's in the hospital. He keeled over. They got him up. He's alive. We'll let you know if he's not. Like, I don't know quite what they want to say. I'm dead serious. I don't know what you're going to fill in the blanks with that he's either awake and responsive or he isn't, and they're either lying or they're not. And it's not, I mean, this is, I guess you can punt the inevitable for a while, but it's going to be I was about to say, it's going to be hard to find a guy to Dave him, if they were going to find a duplicate to run around, but pretty much anybody who could, any plastic surgeon who could draw the tortoise on the back of that matchbook from the 70s could probably make this happen.
Really gotten a ton of details. We still don't form.
He's old. He's frozen a couple times and not responded. He may have had an ischemic stroke during an interview at one point. He's old. Well, I'm gonna check that one. I don't know why there's like 6 boxes on here that just say old AF. That's I don't know why that's at the bottom. Should be at the top.
Know from his team exactly what happened. You mentioned
He's got a bad case of fossilization.
EMS call that has been circulating around, and
yeah. Well, I think we had do we have audio from the actual? Hold on, I've got to move this over here because this is a little silly. We have to have. Where is it?
Bring out Jadid!
Yeah, that's the statement from his press secretary.
it's been described in a variety of different ways. We've heard a heart attack, we've heard cardiac arrest, we've heard he's unconscious, we heard CPR was administered.
All those tend to go together. I don't know if you've noticed that. I don't know why you think those are separate things. That's 4 blind guys touching an elephant, lady. I'm dead serious. It's
Bring out Jadid!
Look, I'm not. Let the guy, poor guy, alone. He's fucking 84.
And a lot of those things, he's 84 years old.
Right. That's why the pictures of him with dark hair are in black and white. Ma'am.
That
They're in black and white. If he's got black hair, it's black and white. Come on.
Bring out Jadid!
It's for fuck's sake.
a lot of people are saying that's stuff that you don't come back from. So
People have cardiac arrest and what are you talking about? It's America. I got news for you. A good 20% of our populace has lived a good extended period of time in their life after a cardiac arrest. Have you checked the stats? And don't even get me started on fucking Kentucky, because it's probably closer to 50%. Are you nuts?
hearing today, just about 5 hours ago, that he is apparently, according to his team, he's alive. He's continuing to improve in a hospital. He's recovering. That's like the most we've gotten from their team. So
Well, that's because he was probably in a medically induced coma, or he was out, or he was literally non responsive or nonverbal for a good period of time after that heart attack slash stroke. And he's starting to make noises again. And if he can say yes and no, he can vote. So that's recovering. Although recovery is a big word. I think parts of him may remain covered for quite some time. It gets chilly in Kentucky hospitals. I know.
It's been a lot.
Right, details.
Yeah. Somebody just said, I had CPR done on me. What a miracle you're alive, Deborah. Well, A, I'm glad you're alive, Deborah. And B, I've done CPR 4 times. And the only person that wasn't conscious when I left them after I had done it and passed them off to the paramedics was the 4th guy. And a lot of us think that it was more than likely an overdose that seized his heart up and he wasn't coming back. But he was breathing when I handed him over, and that's all I can do. I don't have all the gear they have.
Far and few between, but let's talk a little.
Few and far between. There's few of them, and they're far between. They're not far, and few between the. All right. I know you think it doesn't matter, but it matters to me.
About that EMS call, what exactly did you hear?
Right. I mean, I have not personally vetted the EMS call, but I have been through a variety of reports. It first came from an independent journalist, and now some larger national news outlets are reporting on the same thing.
Sorry, we're getting Ricochet News here. I'm going to start the Ricochet News service where everything is hearsay, including the truth. And I need like a Ricochet sound effect for when that happened. Oh, God.
Again, I'm hearing a lot of different exactly what was in the call and what it means.
Okay. He was all right. Like he's in the hospital and he's talking. And again, if he can nod and shake his head, he can fucking vote. Hold on. Apparently, though, I want to see this. Please tell me this is not like 9 hours long. It doesn't even say. Hold on. Pause. Okay. How long is this fucking thing? I get past that. All right. I'm just making sure that something I'm looking. Okay, yeah, this isn't going to be forever. Okay. Okay. We're checking in with our Flashpoint guys, and they don't make clips anymore because just like Bongholio, they're afraid of what I'll do to them. So I've scared people away from making clips. I'm very proud of that fact. But now it's time to do needle drops. Because if you're not going to clip, I'm going to assume that some portion of your show you stand by, and I'm not going to, pick and choose my targets. I'm just going to needle drop it. And usually it'll start at the beginning because I want to hear your opening salvo. All right. But so we're going to deal with the Flashpoint kids. This is from the Copeland Sound, whatever, the Copeland Ministries channel. Tax-free TV. Wouldn't that be that fun? All right. And then, hold on. First coming up, I have to see this. Hold on. This I have to do first. This, I got to say, this excited me. We've all sort of wept for Bongholio in the past and just the torment that he went through, the flop sweat when he had to pretend that Jeffrey Epstein hung himself when he probably saw the evidence of him walking out of the jail. And I feel happy. Yes, Ricochet News. Hold on. There you go. There you go. I'm gonna down. Yeah, I'm gonna. I like the. Oh, that was the last one. I like that one a lot. I'm gonna download that. Ricochet News, where you hear it second, maybe third, possibly fourth. We don't know. We'll see. I got to put it in my sound effects. I'm not afraid of just doing show business live. We'll do it live. All right, now I need to edit. And I think The one I like is this one. Let's see, I'll take this one. Yeah, cut this one out. Remove selection. Okay. And then I almost like both of them together. Like if we play both of them and go Ricochet News, where you hear it second. Yeah, we'll. One street over's news right next door. What? All right. So I'm saving that. And save. Yeah, there we go. And we'll name it Ricochet News. This is whenever we hear something secondhand. All right. More with Ricochet News in a moment. You heard it second. Here, maybe even third. We don't know. All right. This one, ladies and gentlemen, the title of this one, first of all, we like the fact that the guy's here, and then there's a big circle, red circle, drawn around Bongholio's face. Not good. And then the title, I would be lying a little bit if I didn't say it very possibly made my nipples hard, because it's just hilarious. He had a breakdown. Is Dan Bongholio hiding something? Besides the normal inadequacies of a man with low self-esteem? Perhaps. Oh boy. So this is okay. Here we go. Yeah, nicely done, CSL. Appreciate it, my friend. So he had a breakdown. Is Dan Bongholio hiding something? Then we got a big thing about MAGA eating itself on the eve of 250. How dare they? Wait, I got to see though.
So what did FBI say about this? Did you?
Way to tee it up. Nice clips, asshole. Tee up what? At least give the last sentence the guy was talking about. Tucker sucks.
Call Dan Bongino or Kash Patel to ask their view?
Well, I have reached out to Bongino on many occasions, and this is part of the story is
Just to give him a tug, or?
is that in my reporting about the new FBI, I've been very critical of them, especially after their abandonment of the whistleblowers.
Oh, how dare you. I'm surprised. Well, I was about to say I'm surprised Bongholio hasn't attacked you physically, but he only apparently feels confident to do that with women.
That was one of Patel's promises, was that they were going to make the whistleblowers whole. That was one of
Sorry, and you believed that?
Bongino's promises. They were going to make the whistleblowers. And we're talking about the whistleblowers.
Maybe he meant put them in a hole and then cover it with dirt.
That had whistleblown about the COVID regime, about the mandates related to
The COVID regime. It started under Trump, you dumb fuck. The whole Operation Fart Steed started under Donald Trump. Do you not realize paying Pfizer before they even came up with the mRNA vaccine, like making it available? The fact that the fucking Johnson & Johnson one is the one that gave everybody tachycardia, and it wasn't even an mRNA. It was a standard form of it. And you know why they got it, you dumb son of a bitch? Because it was one of the immune responses to COVID, and having a dead version or a live version affected some people. So if you got the vaccine or you actually got COVID, you might have a cardio issue, and it happened more in like early, late teen boys, like after they'd like 15 to 19 years old. That was the window. For some reason, that was the COVID overlap. Guess who it killed a bunch of? Chinese teenage boys. Right. You dumb fuck. Regime. Sit the fuck down. Regime.
about January 6th.
January 6th. Yeah, they're going to make those guys whole. He just pardoned them. You know why? Because if they had to redo their trials, they'd all go to jail for longer.
The guys that were told to go out and SWAT raid grandmas, for misdemeanor offenses.
Yeah, they weren't. They didn't. They didn't SWAT raid grandmas for misdemeanor defenses, and a bunch of the people that Donald Trump has pardoned from January 6th are sex offenders and domestic abusers who've beaten and threatened their family members if they aren't fucking the kids in the house.
Something the FBI had never done in its 100-year career.
And still didn't do. They didn't SWAT grandmas for misdemeanors, you dumb motherfucker.
History of the agency, the Bureau. And so I'd become very critical. And 5 times that I know of, and I only know this because the executives at the Blaze relayed it to me.
Oh my God, thank God the Blase was there to help you. This guy works at the Blase, apparently. He's Steve Baker is I don't know, there's an ad. And then it just says Steve Baker on the CIA FBI director and whatever bullshit. He's like a reporter guy.
5 times, individuals from the 7th floor of the FBI, the Hoover Building, called my bosses to try to get me fired.
Boom! That's what it is. The Biden administration, man, they were going after anybody, their political enemies. They were weaponized. Oh, wait, fuck. 7th floor during the time. Oh, that's Bongholio and Patel. That's last year. So, just in case you're just joining us from planet Earth, this asshole works at the Blaze, Glenn Beck's network, and because he was apparently expecting Patel and Bongholio to actually do the shit they said they were going to do back when they had podcasts or were guests on podcasts before they had an actual office at the FBI, that they were going to do that. He apparently was mildly miffed about it, brought it up a couple times, and they called the Blaze to try and get Glenn to fire him from the FBI. We got to stop the weaponization of the government.
At the Blaze.
What?
Yes.
Who?
Gee,
Do you know who called from FBI?
Dan Bongino called twice.
oh, God, it's just, free speech. Absolutists, they're the best. They're the best.
The first one that I was
To try to get you fired?
Yeah, but
Yeah, shithead. He's a liar and an asshole. Just like you. Why do you think Trump hired him? Because birds of a feather.
first of all, to complain. Then it escalated from there.
Did he call you?
No, didn't. No. Bongino and I. Bongino gets my DMs.
Well, that sounds interesting. So, when exactly did you try to slide into the DMs slide into his Bongholio? When?
Because he told my bosses that he reads my DMs. That's.
And he doesn't respond. Well, okay, never mind. I can't even pretend to still be surprised that this piece of shit is attacking his own side. And please, have at it. I'm not even complaining. You got, chew each other's asses. Who cares?
I know he gets them. And he famously blocks people.
He receives them. I don't know that he can actually read. I think he can recognize clusters of words as positives or negatives. And sometimes he gets it wrong because he's too stupid to even figure out how sarcasm works. So he just assumes it on certain people's behalf and assumes it never happens on others. That's how he operates, because Bongholio is a fucking moron. So he may see your DMs and he may see blocks of words that an LLM from 5 years ago. It doesn't quite understand it, but it can blurt out a reverse or an assumed version of a reply.
His, X account, he's never blocked me.
Blocked me?
But he's criticized me. He's the one who told Thomas Massey that he would personally write the check for the defamation lawsuit from Shawnee Kirkhoff.
How did
What?
Dan go so quickly from a critic of the deep state to its most aggressive defender?
Is there any way, can we like crowdsource someone to take that quote and play it through a giant loudspeaker like the one on the top of the car in Blues Brothers and just drive back and forth in front of Bongholio's house? Like, and we can like intercut that quote with Tucker Carlson's dipshit laugh like that, and then mix it with this. Hold on.
How did Dan go so quickly from a critic of the deep state to its most aggressive defender? What happened?
Like that. I mean, can we make that happen? Or maybe just just put the quote on there, ask that question, and then Tucker Carlson, and then put it on the back of an airplane and let him over his house. Is that too much to ask on the 250? Okay.
To Dan, do you think?
What happened to Dan? He started dumb and he stayed that way.
I don't know, but I can tell you that in February of 24, and it's still on Dan's X page. You can go there. February 24, he is singing my praises. He goes, that Baker guy at the Blaze, he is just knocking it out of the park about the pipe bomb, because we were releasing videos back then that nobody had ever seen.
Yes.
Like, the destruction of the bomb by the robot. I mean, people, the fact that
Which obviously other people had seen and was released on other news outlets. And dude, the Blaze didn't get access that nobody else had back then. You just put it on fucking Twitter.
investigative cameras had been turned away from the site. We not only found that the cameras had been turned away, we found the act of them being turned away.
Gee, because explosives hurt lenses?
From the investigation scene. And we were releasing all these videos back then. And
Because if it goes off, they didn't want a bunch of fucking... They didn't want to give the bomber credit for killing a bunch of bomb disposal guys. Are you fucking dumb?
singing my praises. Well, he's complete opposite now.
They're all wearing body cam on the on an officer and FBI level, maybe at the FBI level, but the officers, the marshals around in the bomb disposal unit.
I don't know. Look, I can speculate as much as anybody.
Yes, that's the name of this show.
It looks like he had a breakdown of some sort. He's terrible.
He had a breakdown of some sort. The kind you have when your wife catches you demon fucking at a truck stop and never mind.
Looks like he had a breakdown of some sort.
Of reading comprehension.
He's terrified. That's obvious.
What? He's not terrified. He's too stupid to be terrified. He doesn't have the brains to actually recognize the threat. It's just a matter of like it's a loyalty cramp. That's all he's got.
I don't know why. I don't know any more than that. I know.
You don't know that at all. That's even speculation. My biggest problem with a lot of the criticism that these dickheads have of their fellow maggots is that there was some kind of a change, that you didn't see this coming, that it was that like, oh wow, it's, he used to be such a good guy. No, he fucking wasn't. Like, we all saw it. Same thing with Trump. Same thing with Tucker. Like, no, nobody's like, oh God, what happened to him? What do you mean? He's the same asshole he's been the whole time. He's only change has been in his opportunistic language as the target moved, not his ethics, not his morals, not his who he doesn't like. Now the display of of who you don't like changes in some cases so that you can still have fealty to the people behind you. So you move to these targets of opportunity. That's what he does. That's what Bongholio obviously does, because you're still serving the same master or your own bizarre sense of self, your ego resting on being smarter than everybody else or the least idiotic person in the room or some nonsense. But the rest of us who can recognize that these fuckers have been lying the whole time, there's been no change in Bongholio. He was bullshitting before he got into office and continued to bullshit, but the target of what he was bullshitting about shifted. The reason why he was bullshitting was different. When he was out of office, when he wasn't at the FBI, he was doing Trump's bidding, shitting on the FBI. Then we got in the FBI and he realized the evidence is there to convict Trump on Russia, on Epstein, on his own financial corruption. Then all of a sudden he's got a bullshit about what's inside the FBI on Trump's behalf. And then he gets out and goes back to bullshitting again. The target moves. It's the same thing.
Having had a lot of contact with Dan Bongino,
Well, and what kind of contact
I like wood.
are we talking about?
Deeper and longer.
I feel like, wow. I know. It's amazing.
turned on a dime. Something happened to him at FBI that just broke him as a man, destroyed.
That's got to be rough for Bongholio to hear, coming from, dweeb Alex Jones over here, who is single-handedly the most marshmallow man I think I've ever seen. Like, honest to God, it makes it difficult for his side of the aisle to criticize Rachel Maddow because he borrowed his haircut from her. So, if this piece of, pocket lint is challenging your manliness, Dan, holy God.
On a dime. Something happened to him at FBI that just broke him as a man, destroyed
Oh my God.
his life and certainly destroyed his career.
Oh God. So the show's not doing well? I thought he was back to making millions as this.
And I feel sorry for him, but
Are you trying to tell me that both you and he on Rumble are just watched by a bunch of Russian and Iranian bot farms that fill your, allow you to sell bullshit to advertisers so your nicotine pouch and dick pill pals will actually think you have an audience? Come on.
I just find it interesting that he was your greatest opponent. You're just trying to find out what happened.
Yeah, you're just trying to find out what happened with the COVID regime.
Yeah, he tried to call me off of my reporting on the whistleblower situation. And
can I just say these assholes deserve each other?
then as we were getting closer to this story, he called. So the first person he called was the president of the Blaze. And that was in the summer before I even knew who Kirchhoff was.
Who's the president of the Blaze if it's not Glenn Beck? Isn't it his organization?
And then later,
I guess he's probably got some sort of a Devin Nunes style puppet in charge.
he called my editor-in-chief. And then Ben Williamson, the assistant personal affairs officer in the 7th floor of the FBI, he called my editor-in-chief. Both Bongino and Williamson agreed that Bongino would sit down with me and let me show him the evidence we had developed on the pipe bomb, which he never did.
No.
It's weird. It's weird that thing was thing. Maybe it's because they actually saw the real FBI evidence, and it that whole ridiculous shit about it's obviously a woman's gate as opposed to a mildly psychotic autistic man's gate.
And I sent him many messages trying to execute that opportunity, that sit down. Never happened.
So he broke yet another promise for transparency with you. Okay, cool. Just should we start keeping a list? It seems long.
And then
Why wouldn't he want to see that? I wonder.
Because it's a fucking waste of time. Or obviously he's covering for the pipe bombs were actually planted by a pro-Trump ally, and the entire case around it has been crafted to cover for the fact that all of it was going to be, they were going to blow, set those bombs off while the Jan 6ers were attacking in a way that would, distract and obligate the law enforcement around the Capitol so that his people could get in and hang Mike Pence.
I don't know. He famously criticized Massey, in this tirade. He went on like a 4-day tirade against Massey. And one of the things he was criticizing Massey for is that Massey wouldn't accept his invitation to come down to the Hoover building and see their evidence against Brian Cole Jr.
Dan is working to cover up,
right?
The activities of the permanent government. It's just
the permanent government. The permanent government. Sorry, you mean the shit Trump did in his first term and the shit he's doing now? Sorry, the permanent government wants Trump elected twice in staggered spots. If there's a permanent government and Trump's in there, then he had to have been okayed a long time ago. The problem with this deep state, eyes wide shut kind of conspiracy bullshit is that if Trump got in and out, it was part of their greater plan. He's no longer some sort of, special use case, some genius outsider. He was always meant to be a part of the plan. And maybe, just maybe, Bongholio's full of shit and is a Trump ball gargler like every one of these assholes. And if he came out after he was at the FBI and went, oh my fucking God, Trump does have a server that pings, the Alpha Bank in fucking Russia so they can send little notes back and forth in the base of Trump Tower, that the fucking building is built with Chinese steel and mob fucking concrete, that he's only had 2 fucking friends his whole life, and both of them are, I was about to say dead pedophiles, but there's reason to believe Epstein's still alive. But his best friends have literally been pedos. Ugh. Sorry, somebody's saying Tucker has 5 million. You haven't read the article, Last Man Standing, about Tucker's fake accounts, where he only has 7,500 actual subscribers on Rumble. You didn't catch that one? The bot farm stuff? Also, why if I'm jealous of that, Midas Touch has way more than he does. So if he criticizes what Midas Touch says, it's all jealousy. I guess that's the only emotion maggots have, right? Jealousy and disdain. Okay.
I just have never seen anyone change that.
Also, by the way, for the record, in this moment, I am not shitting on Tucker. He's a dipshit, but I don't care. I'm enjoying the fact that he is attacking his own. The point I'm trying to make out is that both of these assholes are either just as compromised and full of shit as Bongholio is, or they're the worst judge of character ever and somehow managed to miss the fact that Dan Bongholio was an opportunistic infection waiting to happen.
Much or be that afraid. I mean, it looked like he was going to have a heart attack. He was so afraid. And I'm not saying that to attack him.
No, it sounds like support.
But I just wish I knew what happened to him. You haven't heard.
No, I know.
But you noticed the change I'm talking about.
Specific.
I know. I'll tell you. I know. I got an idea. I do. How about this? Nothing happened. He was always a piece of shit, dummy. Ever since he left the Secret Service, whatever honor and sense of duty and respect and genuine belief in what he was doing that brought him to join the Secret Service, which hats off to people who join. After that, he was like, fuck, where's the green? And from that point on, he's whatever money he's making is more important than any ethic he could possibly have.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that he made 2 calls to my bosses. Ben Williamson made 1 call.
Somebody just said Midas is just about to pass TYT. They passed TYT a long time ago, I thought. I don't know what the metric you're using, but as far as their channel goes, I think they're well beyond them, aren't they? And hats off again to the Midas Touch guys. They didn't get a $25 million infusion from a millionaire to get them started and sign a contract with Google to have basically their own corner of the internet at YouTube. Midas just grew the fucking thing. Good for them.
Marshall Yates, who was the congressional liaison to the FBI, formerly general counsel staffer for Thomas Massey, before he went to FBI, he called my bosses. He definitely was trying to get me fired. Marshall called the White House. He called Congress members. He did media sources, everything they could to try and.
And what was your crime again?
My crime was reporting on Kirchhoff. And I allegedly.
Hold on. Sorry, I don't know the reporting on Kirchhoff part that he's talking about, but it sounds like his real crime was criticizing or not towing the line of Patel and Bongholio, no matter what they fucking say.
Was the person that received leaks of both files and technologies from Joe Kent.
Oh, okay. This is a bit of a breaking news that he does. I think it depends on who you read. But the idea is that, remember when in the story that's in Regime Change, the Maggie Haberman book that's coming out, there's that story where Bongholio blows his fucking top and says, get this guy on the phone. If you can get him to admit that I gave him information, I'll give you $100,000. First of all, it's 6.6 to 6.4. There you go. All right. Close enough for jazz. So, the true believer arc is real. But Bongholio blew his top, and it was about apparently who he was referencing, get the guy on the phone, was Baker. Now, the weird thing is that Baker would have to be admitting to a crime too. So I don't know that he would. Also, he's not going to tell anybody who his source is anyways. Like, he'll tell them who you could say who the source is not, but you could even be lying about that.
The director of national counterterrorism.
Did you?
No, not. In fact, before I left the Blaze, the week before,
it's pronounced blase.
I got a call from Daily Wire, reporter to Daily Wire, 9:30 at night at home, and he said, "Hey, I'm calling to comment from you on a story that I've got." I said, "Okay, hit me." He said, "You're
probably genetically, physically the most opposite we can find of Candace Owens that isn't Jewish." And, sorry.
3 different sources from the intelligence community who say you were the recipient of leaks from Joe Kent. And I just busted out laughing in his face. I said, well, first of all, who are the 3 sources? I can't tell you that. I said, you have 3 people from the IC telling you that I received technology and leaks from Joe Kent. Yes, that's what I have. 15 minutes, I just went off on him. And he finally went, okay, I believe you. And then they didn't publish the story.
Yeah.
But everybody else did. Reuters did, New York Times, everybody else published stories about it.
So what was Kirchhoff's response to your piece?
Well, it was through attorneys. I mean, she has never spoken herself until, guess what she got? She got the Ray Epps treatment from the New York Times.
Ooh, the Ray Epps treatment. Oh, you mean that whole thing where they made it look like Ray Epps was an FBI informant who gave the code by whispering in one guy's ear who was attacking a police officer to go easy, and that was the maggot special, Manchurian candidate phrase that said, now it's time to attack the fucking Capitol, go back to the truck and get guns, and so stupid.
And they did the full puff piece on her. They made her into the sympathetic figure that I had defamed. And
Ray Epps got the treatment. Ray Epps was the good guy in this situation. All right.
Falsely accused of being the bomber. And that reporter called me, and I did an hour and a half the first session and 30 minutes of follow-up with that reporter. I went through everything. That reporter had no idea that she had flunked, the polygraph. I went through tons of evidence and information that we have. And
so I read somewhere that she said there's video of me with my dog or my puppy during the hours in question when the bombs were planted.
Again, we have 3 sources from the FBI who called CBS and told CBS News that they had an alibi video of Miss Kirchhoff on the evening of January 5th while the
Okay, sorry. Kirchhoff is the name of the Capitol police officer that he accused of doing it because they did gait analysis on her. Yeah,
bomber is running around at RNC and DNC, is that she is home, and I quote, playing with her puppies. Okay.
If she'd adopted a dog.
The same three sources from the FBI who allegedly leaked that to CBS would also have known at the same time, the same day, that she flunked the polygraph, and they conveniently left that out of the story.
Have you seen this video?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if she flunks the polygraph if you actually have video that's timestamped. You know she's fucking there. Who cares? It wasn't her.
No, it doesn't exist as far as we know because it has been under. They have request the attorneys for Brian Cole Jr. have requested it under discovery, and it's never been turned over.
Cost of living.
Well, that's not how it works. You don't get to turn over other people's alibis for the time of it if it's been verified by law enforcement. You don't get to just go through anybody who was in the neighborhood. That's not how that's not how any of that works. Never will. But it's a great way to make it look like they won't let us look at other people's alibis. You worry about your own alibi and the evidence that goes, and we'll let you know if there was anybody that, you know, we thought more than a week about. But if we've got a police officer and we've got timestamp video of her at home, we don't have to give it to you. That's what cleared her. We don't have to go any further. And you don't have the right to actually crawl up anybody else's ass. You can hire a private detective if you want to. You can go find 9 ways to Sunday to verify whether she was at the fucking house. You can go talk to her neighbors. You can fucking interview her. You can try to depose her if you want to and fail miserably. But the idea, like, can you imagine if defendants could just crawl up the ass of anybody else who could have possibly done it and use even the initial phone calls when they're just going through who could possibly have done stuff? It's silly. It's just silliness. All right, hold on. Is this the, like, he just does an ad for fucking, what is it? Home title lock? What is it? American Financing. Yeah, it had to be one of those. Anyway, so Baker, you know, is one of these guys complaining about like Bongholio's a fraud. We know this and we've seen this and whatever. Now, yeah, do you need an alibi? Yeah, it's like everybody in the city within a 10-block radius would you could force the police to alibi everybody except your client. It's so dumb. Like, that's what they're asking for. It's one of those things where the no court allows it, period. Yeah. Anyways, so also, I think the maggot that was talking earlier was trying to insult me by saying, by pointing out that I have a ponytail. Yeah, I put my hair back because I'm working. But also that I was the whitest guy ever. And I think in maggot world, that's the highest compliment you could give me. I'm touched. That's so sweet. Yeah, it's, you know. It's like when a maggot stops by to give you a compliment like that. I didn't ask for that, and yet I feel like I earned it. All right, so I have to admit, this next video that I'm going to show you, hit the like, share the show, give a thumbs up if you like the show. Please give a thumbs down if you don't like the show. It's really all about interaction, and especially I do want to thank, as much as I'm messing with them, I do want to thank any of the maggots or maggot adjacent that might be in the crowd that are in the chat room, because you deliver us to parts of the internet algorithm that we wouldn't go normally. Thank you very much for that. And my favorite thing, I think, of the many criticisms that I've gotten in this little bit, because I think this is good, is how few followers I have, but you're here. That's what you're. All right, so it's really not about subscribers, is it? Can you pull my hair? Simmer down. Maybe. Look, you know me. I don't yuck anybody's yum, but I'm spoken for. You're welcome. Somebody said the ICE has doubled its monthly arrest from 1,000 to 2,000 a month. They're still aiming for 3,000. They're not going to get them. There's not enough people. The number of undocumented immigrants in the country is nowhere near the number they said, that Trump has said. So they've got to keep pretending they're going for this big thing and blame blue cities for not letting them pick people up. But that's not the case at all. They just, anyway. So this next video, hit the like. Look at that. We had an extra, I think 15 people that hit the like on that one right now. All I had to do was ask. Well, how about subscribe? Maybe that one, if I could just ask you to subscribe, that'd be good. Hey, there it is. Why does this move all over the place? Okay. Anyways, I put it in, I know, because I had to move it out of the way because Rob was on earlier and it was in a funky place. So, I just need, what I need to do, is I'll take it and where is it? I'll make it bigger. Let's see. This is the subscribe. There we go. Where would this be? Okay, so we'll go to this one or this one. It's this guy, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to take that and stretch it, make it bigger. There you go. And then I'm going to go over to the other one, do the exact same thing. Play that one up, and then I'm going to grab this and stretch it out like that. There you go. And now the next time I hit it, it'll be, kind of impressive. You just do this kind of, look at that. Now it looks like I mean it. God damn it. Okay, so this next video, hit the like, share the show. It's Hal Sparks Megaworldwide, the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. It's the greatest chat room in the history of chat rooms, and even when it includes trolls. So thank you, trolls. I'm very sorry that the regular members of my chat room, which are myriad, don't get upset the way other chat rooms do, and we don't tend to do a lot of pearl clutching around here. Look, I know you got to hang out here because what are you going to do? Go to pro-Trump chat rooms and say good things about the price of food, gasoline, homes, education, inflation numbers, how the MOU is going, the quality of entertainment at the America 250 thing. Like, what's to boost? So I know you got to go over and shit on everybody else because, I get it. It's totally fine and it's all right. Okay, now, this next video, if I may, Jamie Lindsay and David Rubin, is it pronounced Rubin? It's Rubin, right? David Rubin. James Lindsay, who's a little, he has a hard time because he's got a girl's first name for a last name, and it makes him very sensitive. A lot of the maggots very sensitive about this thing, and that's why they think making fun of the fact that I have long hair will be insulting to me, as if I don't know, like it snuck up on me, and also Jesus. But anyways, Dave Rubin had Lindsay on and to talk about this, and I saw this title and I was like, why it will get worse. And I, honest to God, I thought it was going to be about the Democratic Socialist candidates. I think I can be forgiven to think that that's what they were reacting to. Yes? Like, if you saw this thumbnail and you knew who these guys were, wouldn't you immediately think that they were like, you think it's bad with just 3 people in New York and 1 person in Denver, but you watch, the commies are on the march. Like, that's immediately what I would think. Does that make sense to everybody in the chat room? Let me know. Give a thumbs up or whatever, right? You know what I mean? And this right, Conan had long hair. Crom, I've never prayed you before. I have no tongue for it. But apparently, and I think you're going to like the subtitle, and you will see probably why they didn't put it on the actual thumbnail. Proof that the unraveling of MAGA has begun. Ooh. Well, do tell. We're waiting. I'm curious.
Masking, what I'm talking about is, honestly, ever since Charlie Kirk was murdered, they just took the brakes off or something. What they're doing is positively not in line with MAGA or the conservative movement or President Trump, and it's starting to concern people.
Okay, first of all, I don't know where you got why you would even throw in President Trump in to that part of it, because not only is he on board with all of it, he runs all these fucking people. So if You don't think Kash Patel, if he was threatened by some group, couldn't go to the president and go, they threatened me. If I told anybody that Epstein actually escaped during your first term, they would, oh shit, right, because that was your guy. Oh, fuck. Oh, you're right. Zip.
Thing assumes that we're the primary audience that's monetizing their content, and we're not. The primary audiences that are monetizing their content are very likely to be recent immigrants to Europe and Canada because they...
What? Sorry, I was born here. As were my parents and my grandparents and my great-grandparents and my great-great-grandparents and my great-great-great-grandparents, my great-great-great-great-grandparents and my great-great-great-great-great grandparents. I also do have a great set of grandparents. You know what I mean? We all have a great set. And they're like, yeah, great. We all have a set of those, I think. But luckily, with my last name Sparks, you can tell which side of the Civil War I was on. My family was on in the northern part of Kentucky, so committed to equality for, when it cost us blood for centuries. All right.
And it's global, right? So you have all these welfare queens, Muslim welfare queens that came in and they,
Why is Destiny a Muslim welfare queen? Also, they specifically picked one where his arms look tiny and he looks puffier than he's like a blue hair shot of Destiny. Nice try, Dave Rubin.
To a household that are watching content that affirms their hope and belief that the West...
Oh no, not a black guy. Oh God. There's black guys involved too? I mean, a blue-haired white guy, I mean, you put up with it, but...
on Israel.
And a black guy that apparently believes he's allowed to have a conversation with a white woman in public?
And Jews. How many people from the third world are on this platform now that were not on this platform?
The third world. I wouldn't call the moon the second one. So we're going with Mars and then Io. Is that going to be the third world that we live on?
2015. 200 million new users. The clicks are there. So this is the most amazing part of kind of totalitarian psychology I've ever seen.
And all they're doing is like, look at all us innocent white kids and our one black friend from who's wearing a jacket from, I'm going to go with Saved by the Bell, are all sharing this on their phones and they don't realize they're being mind controlled by new immigrants.
Here, the left and right touch each other again because you have kids. I mean, even before he died, Charlie Kirk was interviewing Turning Point kids on camera. The guys are sitting there saying, like, I can't buy a house, but we give $3 billion to Israel. Like, somehow those are connected. They're capable of tying up your personal problem into the omni issue of the day. That issue is the explanation for why your challenge is.
Boy, this is very dramatic. Is this the TikTokification of the opening of these videos, or is this what I'm not doing wrong? But would I have a 3.2 million subscribers if I had royalty free or /AI classical music and a bunch of like hyper edits at the beginning of my show instead of long form content where I actually have conversations both with my chat room and the material I'm presenting and go through it completely? Nah, I'm fucking with you. It's, yeah.
Wrong. Hassan Piker is the voice of the next wave.
No, he's not.
Piker is their new poster boy for, the next probably 2 years. And this is really the direction. They're embracing assassination culture and political violence. It's not social democrat. It's hard communism.
So what?
That's the problem. So it's you have a virility problem then. Hard communists versus soft, gooey, slightly damp conservatives.
Do the sane people have to do?
You're obviously asking for a friend?
So that we don't wake up, holy cow.
I'm kidding. He doesn't have any sane friends.
We just gave it away. Like, we're cooked.
Very exciting opening. The sit down, James is there. They're going to talk a little bit about something. It's going to start off fun, and there's a shot of him with a sword, and they're making fun of him. If he's doing, was he doing it?
Do me a lot of credit, so that's all I'll say about that.
We'll throw up a couple of the pictures, and I'm not even going to comment any further unless you have anything else you want to add about.
They're
your
glorious, is all I got to
swordplay.
add.
How are you feeling about the state of America at the moment? You're somebody who gets things a little early usually. Are you feeling okay at the moment?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still generally optimistic. I'm feeling
Yes, that's right. A year into and a half into Trump's second term, generally.
I mean, we're in a dangerous spot. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, and we've maintained that. You and I both have been saying that for a decade, that we're careening in a dangerous way. But I'm actually a little more optimistic. Certainly compared to the last 2 years, I'm more optimistic. Things are, in my opinion, having been unmasked a little sooner.
I see. What makes it good is that things have gotten awful quickly, and now we know. Sometimes you think the threat's there, and you're like, that's my friend, and that's my enemy. And then you realize, oh, shit, I had those completely backwards. It's better to know. I mean, obviously, it means you're a shit judge of character and a terrible person, and you probably shouldn't be in charge of anything, but still.
Maybe they might have otherwise. People are kind of catching on, and people catching on is always a good sign that something good might happen. Big 250.
Catching on to what?
50th celebration's hard not to be optimistic about the country in the light of that.
All right, so talk to me about unmasking, because I know it's easy for us, and you've been on the show probably 20 times over the years. It's
it's starting to get tired. Yeah, I mean, I've only seen a couple of them, and only partway through, and I'm already bored.
very easy for us to critique what's going on the left, and both of us have spent an awful amount of time in our career doing that. You particularly, although we both have spent a lot more time attacking or exposing or unmasking parts of the right in the last year or so. So why don't we talk about
In the last year or so, what's changed in the last year or so? What's the big deal about the last year or so that's really changed in terms of left-right politics that would make it so that the right was actually the ones, in a position to control so many things that it would be even necessary to motherfucker.
unmasking of both? Because I think it's happening on both sides right now.
It is. That's right. We're kind of in this moment where there's like,
No, it isn't. You're still attacking the randos on the Democratic side as a communist wave in an attempt to balance the argument away from the fact that you elected a pedo-protecting fellow traveler of Jeffrey Epstein who's enriching himself during the presidency, embarrassing the fucking country, breaking every promise he made to you guys, especially the ones that he had no power to actually carry out, which somehow you didn't spot, like prices of shit going down. Even if you lower inflation, you're still only slowing the rise. But you fell for it anyways. The only reason they bring up like fucking 3 Democratic socialists, which again is like total fucking communists in the general New York area, and one in Denver who took a blue district and made it bluer, fucking yawn. What do you think they're gonna do? Like, we've been through this shit before. This is the same like fear of the squad shit they were doing in 2016.
scissors, like the left on the radicals of the left, which is mostly all of the left at this point, are like coming in their way. And in fact, there's going to be a new way. We're all going to be talking about the left again soon. I'm almost positive.
I hope so.
That's all going to be Hassan
Well, you mean when they win?
Piker flavored. Nobody's going to like this at all. There's going to be lots of tinges of violence, I think, underneath the hood. And then, of
You hope.
course, is this weird
Fuck Hassan and his fucking millionaire Marxist bullshit. Him and Jimmy Dore, they're both just rich assholes who tell everybody else to go on a general strike and fuck their landlord and don't pay their rent from the warm side of a bay window. You think either of these dipshits have any real impact on Democratic voters across the country? Holy shit. The dude's a content thief. That's it. Jimmy's just full out moving into his Glenn Beck phase. The fuck out of here. 4 fucking people who are, by the way, going to vote with the rest of the Democratic Party to get our priorities through. They're not going to turn the fucking country communist. And And you know what's going to turn the fucking country communist faster? Is the government buying 50% stakes in tech companies and turning them into utilities. That's the most fucking communist thing you can think of. That is literally the government seizing the means of production. At least it's digital production, so it's not. This is the only way the Republicans could do it without preserving workers' rights. Literally, that's what they're doing. They're like, we're going to seize the factories and use them for the people. Because there are no people in these factories. Get the fuck out of here.
Radical right that has sprung up, it seems out of the woodwork, but it's continuous with the alt-right of 10 years ago. So it did not spring up out of the woodwork. It just kind of laid quietly until Trump was approaching his, second and final term.
Oh, I see. So the rise of maggots who are like, hey, what about the Epstein files? Hey, why aren't prices going down? Hey, what the fuck? All those folks are just, the only reason they're saying those things is not because they're true. It's because we're approaching the fucking midterms and they think they're going to like outright flank him.
And thus, the moment of opportunity arose for a change of direction in the conservative movement, which I think they're taking advantage of. But, a year ago we were talking or so, and it's like I was telling all these people, who's an example of this woke right? And I'd say, Tucker Carlson. And they would say, no, it can't be. Now, this unmasking, what I'm talking about, is pretty much, honestly, ever since Charlie Kirk was murdered, they just took the brakes off or something, and almost immediately people started realizing that whatever's going on with this kind of, it's like a network or a group of people.
Also, I've said this for a while, but it's absolutely true that, the Pam Bondi memo followed by Charlie Kirk, followed by the fact that he bombed Iran, those three things were like the last straw in one big collective lump. No, one of them by themselves wasn't enough to make these people, jump off the fucking tracks. But all three of them were enough. And then after he bombed Iran, he went back for a second bite at the apple. That's when it all went, okay, we're fucking done. And it's not because they're like, we don't believe in Trump. It's like, we still believe in what he was selling us because we have to, because our own followers, the people who watch us on the show, told us that he was going to lower the deficit, that he wasn't going to get us in any of these foreign wars anymore, that he was going to lower prices, that he wasn't going to be a fucking commie like Harris would be. And then he wants to buy a 50% stake in Intel and OpenAI and the rest of these companies, which is, again, as socialist and communist as you get. Like, this is the farthest thing from conservatism. It's a little silly. And it's a little bit closer to them, being seen as utilities, not as tech companies. We talked about that a little bit this morning on Friday Eye. Go back and watch that. But all of these things are stuff that they're just confronting the fact that their own audience, they set their own audience up for this. And, in the same way that like TYT was acting like they were for health, expanding healthcare to people. And then when the ACA came out and it might actually do it and then grow into a public option and then they wouldn't have anything to fight against, they were like, nah, even if it saves 24 million people's lives and their livelihoods, fuck it. If we don't get everything, nobody gets anything. The maggots acted the same way. And then they realized, oh shit, we're not going to get anything. At least Democrats went, fuck you, and went for what progress was possible, because all quality progress is incremental and harder to undo. If everything you do is just a series of executive orders, the next person can get rid of it. But if you do it through legislation, like we did with SNAP and Medicare and Medicaid and all these other, and S-chip and those kind of things, the stuff they vilified Hillary Clinton for, by the way, they put a target on her fucking forehead when she started pushing for children to have insurance in the fucking 90s. That was her crime. That's why Republicans went after her. If she starts moving up in politics and she ends up being, a senator and then a secretary of state, if she becomes president, we're fucked, because she's going to prove that a functioning social safety net in a mixed economy actually does fucking work. That's why they went after her. I'm sorry, I got on a bit of a rant. I'm fine. I'm okay. Gonna be all right. But the point being is that incremental progress is harder to undo. We still have S-chip and Medicare and Medicaid because they went through Congress. They weren't just executive orders. So the idiocy of these motherfuckers that Trump is ruling by executive order basically because he wants these fucking things to be temporary. He's not stopping what he's doing, like stopping stuff at the border and those kind of things because he actually gives a fuck about the country. He thinks it makes him look good to his followers. But the minute it was like, oh, we don't have enough workers on the farms, we don't have enough workers in hotels and on golf courses, he was like, you know what? We'll just bro it. They can, we'll have a trust me bro system. We won't deport those people. They can stay. My buddies in big ag, my buddies in the hotel business, my buddies with the other golf courses, and myself. We could just hire all the fucking undocumented people and pay them under the table all we fucking want. And then when he gets out of office, he can make something, just take advantage while he's here, make enough money. He doesn't even have to be. His golf courses and buildings won't, but they also don't even have to turn a profit because they're moving into FinSec when this is over. Because just like Paul Ryan writes the fucking tax law and then leaves office. For all the shit that they give Paul Ryan in the Trump White House when they bring him up, he's their hero. He's the business model. Get a college education using Social Security benefits that you got when your fucking father died, and then get into office with that education, and then pull the ladder up after you so that nobody else in that same economic sphere or that economic level can follow you up into it, so you don't have to compete with people who are actual bootstrappers. He might as well. Paul Ryan might as well be Eric Trump for all for all material purposes. That felt good. I feel good about this. But the idea that these assholes are like, I don't even know where this came from.
Seem to be working together. They always circle their wagons around each other, and what they're doing is positively not in line with MAGA or the conservative movement or President Trump.
Which part? The wanting the Epstein files to come out? The no foreign wars part? I think really the only thing, what he means is support for Israel. That Trump is still gargling Netanyahu's nuts and thinks that support for Israel means military support with zero rules of engagement. That's Trump's idea. Check my heart rate. My heart rate is awesome.
Or America at all, for that matter, and it's starting to concern people.
Okay, so what would you say? We can name some of the people, and
please do.
Obviously, Tucker seems to be the center of gravity,
which is sad. Just to have somebody in the shirts that he wears as your center of gravity, it's just just a trust fund baby as your center of gravity. I mean, actually, it fits as far as conservatism and republicanism go. I mean, the dude never had to work a fucking day in his life, was, born with a silver spoon up his ass, just like Trump, has literally been a millionaire since birth, lives in a fucking, multi-million-dollar mansion that he makes look like a fucking cabin to fit in the same way that Glenn Beck has a set that looks like a ranch in his studio. Do you know how fucking embarrassing that is? At least with my digital background thing, I'm fucking around. These guys are actually, oh look, I'm a man of the people. I got the man of the people bedroom from my childhood.
On this thing, and there is some concern about where JD fits in with that a lot of people bring up. I've interviewed JD a million times. I basically like him. I think he's a good communicator.
Basically?
My only hesitancy with him is that...
Yes, I agree. CSL, the worst ranch dressing ever. The only kind of ranch dressing that doesn't work no matter what you dip into it.
That it's unclear where he falls on this specific issue. But
I think he falls... JD Vance, somewhere between the couch cushions, I think, really. Oh, yeah.
Couch humping. Couch humping. Jumping. Feel the beat. Feel the beat. Take it higher. Can't retreat. Feel the rhythm. Can't deny. Can't deny. Couch humping. Reach the sky.
Yeah.
What would you say is the idea set of these people? What is the thing that's bringing...
Yes, tell us what the non-maggot maggots are thinking, if at all.
them together.
And please also attack Bongholio's flop sweat or defend him, one or the other. I don't care which. Both are equally hilarious.
At the moment.
Fundamental transformational change of the American experiment. So whether it's because they want to destroy the woke, whether it's because they think that there's...
Sorry, the woke right wants to fundamentally change America because they want to destroy the woke left, who are currently not in control of any of America.
There's been too much freedom and liberalism and allowed people to get too decadent, whether it's because they want political power. They want to get the kind of almost the constitutional order of the country out of the way and replace it with something different.
Oh, you mean like Trump's, monarchist view of the White House and the administration, that it should be a permanent religious or almost religiously driven monarchical familial control structure where you could just hand the government to Don Jr. like Uday or Kusei. I forget which one was older.
I think that it's if we're being intellectual enough about it.
I think you're being plenty intellectual about it. I would tap out. If you get any more intellectual, we might all need a beach ball. The reason you think you're being intellectual is because, to quote Steve Martin, you were educated with a banana and an inner tube.
Rather than just kind of street radical about it, the vision that they are aiming for looks something like the book called Regime Change, published by Patrick Deneen in 2023,
but not the Maggie Haberman Regime Change.
Vance has sat alongside Deneen and promoted this book with him and endorsed this book. And so this is this idea that, what we might need is a little bit more elitism in this country. We need to...
Why would somebody who was born rich, never had a real job in his fucking life, lived off the tit of his parents, and I know you're going, what do you mean, Tucker or Trump? Exactly. Why would that person believe that we need a more like a permanent elite class as opposed to allowing people to bootstrap their way up through the system in a way that America has been known for since our beginning?
Right.
Gee, I can't think of a reason.
Elites in power. We got to get rid of these leftist elites and replace them with a kind of right-wing elite that believe in a little bit of aristocracy, maybe a little bit more of the old WASP order.
Aristocracy. Yes, that's what I think of when I think of Trump's new money gold obsession.
Maybe even a monarch. Maybe it is, Trump's not a king, but maybe it's a little bit of a king. I mean, that's what regime change.
A little bit of a king. That's it. You know what we need? Not even we need. Hold on. I think I have the shirt actually, don't I? Is it over here someplace? Yes. Where did I put these shirts and the things of the no more kings in the situation? Yeah, here we go. So we might have to. At the next No More Kings, No Kings, we might, not even a little bit of a king probably would be good for the next thing. It's funny to me that after the No Kings marches, which these assholes shit on left and right, he's like, well, that's kind of what Trump's shooting for. Yeah. I mean, if you really think about it, that's what, they're trying to make happen.
Calls for is a monarchy combined with a limited aristocracy combined with limited Republican democracy, and a new economic system in particular that is based on ordering the society and the economy for what they call the common good. And so the common good conservative ambition, which is,
Whoa. Okay. This is new. And the shifty eye part of this, because it's his own belief system or adjacent to his own belief system, the common good.
Collectivism.
So where do you think...
Sorry. So Trump is trying to do monarchical collectivism, which, I mean, it does sound... Yeah, it sounds like, Trump basically wants to be the French king in History of the World Part 1. I'm their king. I'm their sovereign. They're my people. I love them. Pull,
Trump falls in on this, and do you think he's paying attention?
Don't say falls when you bring up Trump. He gets very nervous.
Attention to this, because once I finally came around to Trump, which wasn't long after he got elected, even though I didn't vote for him the first time, what I started realizing was it seemed to me that he was holding together liberalism and conservatism.
That's because you're stupid.
There were obvious reasons that he was a conservative. Abortion would be the easiest one, and what he was doing with the courts. And then,
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit about abortion. He was using that as a lever. If you want to look at a Democratic version of that, the closest thing is that Obama and Biden were both for gay marriage, but the public wasn't there yet, so they came out specifically for public unions, for civil unions. And the civil unions was something that the public could stomach, even though they were further along and with the goal of eventually making gay marriage legal. The public wasn't there yet, so they played the politics of it, and they spoke to civil unions, and it actually helped. It did exactly. A leader has to be ahead, but they can't be too far ahead. And that was the choice there. So there was a Machiavellian decision to not be completely forthcoming and say, we're for gay marriage, we're for civil unions, because the public wasn't there yet. And they had to get elected to do it. The alternative was come out completely, tell everybody, no pun intended, that you're for gay marriage because you are, and not get elected. And the person who gets elected is totally against it, and it doesn't happen. That's playing politics. And you can, in the same way, how about this? I was about to say Benny Johnson. Bernie Sanders is actually to the right of Hillary Clinton on guns. Why? Because he's from Vermont, and Vermont is a hunter and a game state. So if you're not pro 2A on some level, you're not going to be elected there. You're not going to be a mayor, which is when he changed his position. You're certainly never going to be a senator, and not for that long. So he changed his position, even though he's probably, on a personal level, I would guess, around the same area as Hillary Clinton or your average Democrat on gun regulations and registration and all that kind of stuff, red flag laws, obviously an assault weapons ban, those kind of things. He's for those things. But as a senator from Vermont, he can't be. Because, it's a rural shooter state. And so he has to bullshit his own constituents and pretend to be more for what they want than he actually is to get elected so that he can do stuff that other people think is good in other areas. Now, in Trump's case, this would be a complete bullshit. Like, this goes on... what are your thoughts on 3D printed guns? They're a great way to blow your thumb off. The big thing is CNC guns. That'll be the one to worry about. And most people who can afford those things have better things to do than shoot places up. So, but they make parts for other people. That's another thing. And you'll get arrested. And why do that when you can make, stuff like Rob Glenn's, the stuff that he makes in his studio for other companies and make an actual living. So it's called politics. It's absolutely true. And in the case of Trump, he's not anti-abortion on any front. He's obviously paid for them in the past. He doesn't morally give a shit about them. The only thing he might care about is that this idea that white women are having abortions and black people and brown people in general are outbreeding the white people. So that's why Elon Musk gives a fuck about abortion, for example. If they could sterilize the third world, they probably would. Listen to how they talk. Like Trump says, fast racehorses breed fast racehorses. Like he actually believes in eugenics. That's eugenics talk. Because if he really believed that, he'd have to go, people who die of Alzheimer's and dementia in their early 80s give birth to people who die of dementia and Alzheimer's in their early 80s, and he's in his early 80s. So what does that tell you? Fuck.
He also didn't really care about gay marriage. And then ironically, he as a person probably doesn't really care about abortion. So he was both.
Right. He's manipulating you. He's lying. And the gay marriage part, that ship had sailed. He wasn't going to undo it, was all you would get from him, is that he wasn't going to be a genuine conservative. By the way, like this dude, if he had his druthers, would more than likely lean.
Those are simple versions of it, but that
simpleton versions.
He was trying to balance these two things, and that's what made MAGA such a wide tent. Do you think he is aware of what is...
Sorry, MAGA was a wide tent because he was balancing gay marriage and abortion. He managed to bring the gays who wanted to adopt and the conservatives who wanted to stop them together.
On here, do you think he cares? Do you think he's a part of it? Or do you think he's just governing and...
Oh, no, James is still ball cradling, I'm going to go with. What do you think? I'm going to guess that he's still carrying Trump's nuts in his mouth. The way he's been talking, this is straight up if the czar only knew.
We'll see.
I do think he's aware. I do not think he's a part of it. I do think, however, that his administration is pretty heavily infiltrated by players that do think this way. And I know.
Well, who hired them? And who defends them all the time? And who did he fucking kick to the curb? Besides Kristi Noem, which, again, because she was fucking Corey Lewandowski, and I guess that made it like, he's like, well, she'll never fuck me. So why have a pretty woman in the office if I don't have a shot? So broom her. Tulsi was allegedly the anti-war person. That was the one that Ruben and Lindsay were both excited that Tulsi Gabbard would be in there. She's going to keep us out of these foreign wars because she was definitely against it. Where's she now?
That's some tension within the administration.
What's happening, Boston Brian?
And so Trump, of course, is an interesting guy. The way that he governs is interesting.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. You mean like interesting?
Someone is at the front door.
Uh-oh. Someone's at the front door. Shut the front door. Hold on. I'm going to see who it is. It shows up on my little camera because I'm nerdy like that.
He's
It's a package.
Well known for liking to see people kind of argue it out and then pick one of the paths. It's strongly been suggested.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. The idea that what do you think? He hires a bunch of people that have contradictory opinions and he just chooses the best argument from it. Are you fucking stupid? The half that agrees with what he's already going to do, he recognize that he's a genius and are following him. And then the other people are there for him to mock with the other people at his back. What do you think? Sorry, you think he came away with, we've got to bomb Iran and then attack again later on? There was a jump ball about that strategy, and that was the best way to go? That was half of the team said don't do it, half of the team said do it, and he's like, actually, I think this is the best way to go. You think that's actually how it fucking worked out? The same thing with like release of the Epstein files. You think that was split down the fucking middle? Like Kash Patel and Bongholio were like, I don't know, maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. And he was like, all right, I think the best thing would be to have you guys release an unsigned memo, behind on a Sunday night after a bunch of little girls at a Christian summer camp were washed away in a fucking flood, and everybody's busy watching that. And don't sign it, just put it out there that there's nothing else to see here. And then if anybody brings it up again, like Charlie Kirk or anybody else, I'll just call them fake MAGA and tell them I don't need their support ever again. How did that like pitch session go around the table? Are you out of your fucking mind?
The point where I think it's probably true.
I almost did say minnow. I did. That is true.
That the MOU, this memorandum of understanding that he issued with.
Sorry, I could tell because there was a weird word coming up. The memorandum is what?
Were true that the MOU, this memorandum of understanding that
the memorandum. Yeah, yep. That's how Trump pronounces it, so he's right.
That he issued with Iran that, of course, wasn't going to work, was an argument between J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio, and finally Trump just watched them argue and was like, we're taking J.D.'s path, and J.D., you're going to wear it. And Marco, stay quiet for a week and see what happens. And that's sort of what went down. So he governs like this way. I think he likes the strife and the chaos, but...
No, he didn't. Besant told him that the world was headed for a depression if the strait was closed for the next 4 weeks. So he fucking called it off and he tossed it at JD Vance's feet. He's going to kick it back in. He's just trying to decide whether he does that a month before the midterms because everybody's got to know that he's serious about it, or a month after the midterms. At this point, 4 days after the midterms when he loses, so that he can get it done before the Democrats get in.
He certainly is aware of Tucker Carlson. He called him low IQ, to which Tucker Carlson made a brand of hats that no one in their right mind would wear that said low IQ on it. And so he's certainly aware that something's going on, and he's...
Well, I mean, in all fairness, isn't that what a MAGA hat is? It's just you know what? If you wear the glasses from They Live and you see a MAGA hat, it says low IQ.
Happy about
It's true. Put on the fucking glasses.
it, but I'm not sure he understands the depth of it. It's always a bad bet to underestimate what Trump understands in these kinds of social dynamics and things that make people or his movement or his project or his electoral chances look bad. So I think he's probably playing a savvy game.
Oh, God. It could be that he's not playing a game at all and he knows he's done, so he's just going to feather his nest and push off any possible prosecution they could even bother to come after him for until he knows he'll be dead in 4 years. Max. He knows he's not going to make it. And he's going to go fucking visit one of his golf courses in Qatar and not come back.
May well be setting some of these people up, but I also know that's a little bit of cope on my part. I want
a little
that to happen, so I don't know for sure. But I don't think he's one of them.
Right. So where?
Well, you can't believe that because you look like more of a sucker than you do right now.
Where does the?
Which is nearly impossible. I would just say go for it.
Well, let's do this version first. Where do you think Israel and the Jews falls into this? Because
oh boy,
that seems to.
Well, at least we're not dealing with any hot potatoes.
Be a catch-all for a lot of the crazy people who now find, you got the Tuckers that now have more in common with far more of the extreme leftists than they do with anyone who would be considered a conservative.
Yeah, I can't tell Chucker and Chucker. I just called him Chucker. Tucker Carlson and Cenk Uygur. I can't tell them apart anymore.
Yeah.
One of them's fat and the other one couldn't lift a spare tire high enough to actually attach it to a vehicle. Don't ask me which one. And yeah, you could never tell them apart. If you'll recall, Cenk was the one who started out with his fucking, guess the camel toe. He was a right winger. His fucking show is named after an assassination squad. Like, I mean, again, the Young Turks might as well be the brown shirts. For real. They aren't different.
So we just call them both Chucker and we're good to go. They say almost the same stuff about almost everything at this point. And, they're even talking.
Well, it's because there's a limited audience, for that kind of shit, and they're competing for the dollars. I mean, they're basically, again, all these people are trying to carve up what's left of the InfoWars audience.
Maybe it's time for a new party and then a new alliance, and I could never vote for a Republican.
Luck says, I'm banned. How can you be banned and still posting? It's amazing. You're so good at this.
Or whatever. Israel is the scapegoat here. It's the tool. The Jews are like the slightly one step more advanced version of the same scapegoat. It's something that they could introduce, that they can drive, that's very divisive. It plays upon a lot of sentiments that are flowing. I mean, the left is already fully cooked on pro-Palestine Gaza, straight basically like 1979 Soviet propaganda that has never gone away. And now we have this, thing.
There was an argument post October 7th where, you had a real attack and a real response, but then, they cross a line and then it really becomes about Netanyahu and the Likud party and the control structure is that, maybe this is, they're opportunistic in the same way that I think post 9/11 people, may have supported George Bush and stuff and going into Afghanistan, but then when the Iraq shit started, they're like, hang the fuck on. And then they started attacking the Bushes again, based on like, well, wait a second. Maybe Jimmy Carter was right to fire his fucking dad as the head of the CIA.
Putatively on the right that has decided that, Israel's some kind of a mastermind and it's doing all these things. And
well, in all fairness, paranoia is paranoia is paranoia. And the right has always thought there's been some sort of, eyes wide shutty group behind there. And it's all, there's very much a slippery slope from the, a permanent world government, the Rothschilds, Jews. Like at some point. Now, I obviously am aware of the Pentaveret and the control that they have.
Well, it's a well-known fact, Sonny Jim, that there's a secret society of the 5 wealthiest people in the world, known as the Pentaveret, who run everything in the world, including the newspapers, and meet tri-annually at a secret country mansion in Colorado known as
The Meadows.
So who's in this pentaverate? The Queen, the Vatican, the Gettys, the Rothschilds, and Colonel Sanders before he went tits up.
So, look, I get it. The Rothschilds are in there.
Can't get ahead because Israel and our arrangement with Israel. And we have these, isolationist kind of tendencies, even during
Do they? You really think so?
World War II. We didn't get involved till 1941.
Yeah, that's where the America First crowd first showed up. That's where the America First phrase started showing up. Initially was the people who were like, Auschwitz, Schmausewitz, we should just stay over here. That's what that was about.
Dragging our feet to get involved in basically anything. And so we don't want to go to war. We're all mad about, I think every conservative is at least a little bit mad about the debacle of Iraq, the debacle of Afghanistan, to the degree that they were mismanaged
by the Bush-Cheney administration in the first place, and therefore
maybe some of that was very necessary, but it didn't come out good. And we don't want more, right? And so this is
Well, do you though? Because it seems like Trump wants more. If you'll recall, one of the things he says about Biden is he's the worst president in history. And one of the biggest things Biden did besides get us out of COVID and back to a functioning country and start bringing down inflation, great unemployment numbers, the best in 60 years, and take us from 9.5% inflation to like 3.5 in 2 years and change, which is fucking incredible, was to get us out of Afghanistan like he said he would. Trump ran on getting us out of Afghanistan and he punted. And now he says, and he said even in his last campaign, that he was never going to leave. We were going to keep Bagram. Well, you can't stay and leave at the same time. That's how you end up with Tiffany, I think.
tendency that's very easy to play up. So now, Trump wants to stop a nuclear weapon in Iran.
Sorry. Hula says, to the country that lives in my heart, happy 250th. You will recover and hopefully become even better than before. Happy 4th to Hal, Sparklers, and Mods. Thank you so much, Hula. I completely agree. We're going to be just fine. And Sandy, you do plenty. Thank you so much. Big hug. And glad to do it, Chief of Stuff. I'm very excited. I will be on the radio tomorrow. We'll be doing a regular show tomorrow, just so you know. And I will enjoy the 4th, but I also will be doing a show because it's fucking hot outside. And that's crazy. And Barbara, thank you for I'm just loving the fact that the stickers have started showing up. Look at that. If you do a super sticker, apparently you can see it now. That's awesome. That's new. That's almost worth the trouble we had to get Rob on the show. All right. Anyways, we'll get a little more of this unraveled and we'll move on.
He wants to make sure the Strait of Hormuz is open for business for the globe.
You mean like it was before all this shit started?
A few other things. And
a few other things. Like taking their oil and making a deal with...
And you can just blame Israel for every bit of conflict that happens. Lebanon shoots a rocket, Syria shoots a rocket, Gaza shoots a rocket, Israel retaliates, Israel broke the ceasefire. And you can blame Israel for all these problems.
Well, you can. For the record, I don't. I certainly think Netanyahu has picked a lot more fight than he should, and there's been a lot of violent bullshit for him and his crew because I think they're purists, and any kind of purist or orthodox mindset is antithetical to democracy and leans more towards a dictatorial regime no matter what you do, hence why conservatives lean more monarchical, which is the ad infinitum version of their idea of governance. So it's going to happen. That's where they're headed. It's just happening faster than you thought, and you're all upset about it, which is why you also think that people who want childcare are going to go to communism in a fucking week because A, you're weak, and B, that's how you operate. To 0 to 60 IQ points in 10 seconds. But in terms of the war in Iran, Netanyahu asked him 7 times to do it. It wasn't until he got a call from MBS that he actually did, because those are the people he's in business with.
And this has been shockingly effective and shockingly infectious. It's now becoming a litmus test, or they're attempting to make it into a litmus test, even for right-wingers, since October 7th. So now 3 years deep.
So how do you gauge?
Yeah, but it didn't really pick up steam until Charlie Kirk was killed. We bombed Iran. The Epstein files debacle, including making those assholes brandish those binders and act like they actually, were getting something new just to embarrass the fuck out of them. And then when it turned out to be a dud, shaming them and saying, hey, fuck you. If you don't want to accept what I say about it and there's nothing else to see here, then you never were MAGA in the first fucking place over that issue. And then going back and attacking Iran a second time. And then going, look, oil prices are almost back to where they were before I did this attack that I said I was never going to do in the first place. You know, you're probably right. It's probably just an Israel-Jew thing. It's just latent anti-Semitism that's forcing them to do this.
How effective it is. It seems to me like the Israel and Jew thing on the left, it's complete. Like the infection.
No. You need to believe that. It really is about Israel. It's not about Jews. There's a lot of Jews over here that don't like it either. A lot of Jews in Israel that don't like it. We're able to, deal with both. In the same way that, by the way, if we have a politician who was involved with Epstein or corruption or any of that stuff, fuck them. Bye. They can go. We don't have to back them and protect them. We just don't. We err to the extreme in the other direction. We'll kick people to the curb like Al Franken that may not deserve it, but better to err on that side. We don't have the inability to separate up people from people. That's a Republican thing.
It is complete.
Oh, and by the way, the Jew thing. That's and David Rubin is Jewish and gay and married, so that's why the right likes that he turned to be more in line with Cenk in the 90s, early 2000s.
It is obvious. I mean, the fact
Complete,
alone.
and then John Fetterman.
Right. So, I was going to say the fact alone that Josh Shapiro should have been VP choice, and Kamala in the book basically admitted that it was because he was Jewish. That shows you enough. And then you've got Fetterman, except they hate Fetterman. I mean, it's Fetterman and.
Does anybody remember Gore Lieberman? You don't think you have to win over a bunch of independents in this process? Are you fucking nuts? And also, woman of color and Jew on the same ticket at this point in history. We only had a woman. The last, Tim Kaine was white but spoke Spanish. That was his big crime.
And outside, you've got Bill Maher and a couple other people on the outside, but in terms of the party itself, Schumer's done. They're all cooked. I mean, we're back to talking about the left, but here we go.
Yeah, and well, now you've got, these recent elections in New York. You got Hassan Piker out there pointing at a camera and saying, right. This is it. This is the proof. You support Israel, you're done. And that's, for the left, going to be the litmus test. But we're seeing the exact same narrative.
Also, no. You could support Israel, I think, by not wanting them to, Netanyahu to have just to be completely off the chain, right? In the same way that I support the United States, no matter who's president, but that doesn't mean because I support my own country that I want Trump to get whatever he wants. Again, this is a big problem that these assholes have with being able to, unable to separate people, individuals, from a people.
Being pushed on the right, it's just not as successful. So that was ultimately your question, was, how much is this penetrating? And what I'm getting.
Yeah, okay. 4 local elections, like for congressional seats and a mayor's office, is nothing compared to what's going on with Tucker and Candace and fucking Ian Carroll and Nick Fuentes and that whole crowd. And Massey getting kicked to the curb and MTG leaving. Are you fucking crazy?
Trans movement 2019 vibes or 2021 vibes. It's like I'm having moms call me. I'm really worried about my son. He's like saying Hitler got unfairly treated by history. What do I do? And I'm like, your son is trans. That's what you're dealing with. It's the exact same thing in mirror image. And this.
Sorry. So, His big complaint, and we'll end it on that. His big complaint is that there's a trans movement on the right that's not trans racist, but trans overt racist. That's what he means. Like he's using that as an analogy that they've got a real fucking problem with on the right, specifically about this, their own voters and supporters genuinely having does this come up out there? I just want to make sure this. Okay, that yeah, genuinely having an issue. They think it's okay to behave this way. And like, is it the fact that it's an analogy to trans stuff is just, again, an example of him flying the bigotry flag. And then the irony that he's going, he's using that as an analogy shows that it's not weird for them to be going, oh my God, I'm raising a bigot. No shit. Of course you are. Yeah, it always comes back to someone's genitals with them. Not always. I mean, sometimes it's, them rubbing their genitals on furniture.
Couch humping. Couch humping.
I don't know. You don't know. So, all right, one last thing. Let's see if I have time for this. Do I? Ugh. Yeah. This is a news story. I don't even know, like, Trump is considering clemency for Sean Combs. By the way, if you beat your significant other on video and everyone can see it, I no longer have to refer to you by your cute dipshit like show name. Is that cool with everybody? You know what I mean? Like no. The dude's name is Sean Combs. He's not Diddy ever again or Puffy or Puff Daddy or any of that horse shit. You lose the ability to have some sort of like, singles like showbiz name after doing what people have seen, you do on video. Like fuck that. Like that. I have to say, like, few things have legitimately enraged me watching them in the last few years more than how he treated his ex. Holy shit. So fuck that guy, no, 100 times no. But Trump will absolutely do it. Just for the record. Like, just count on it. Because he thinks it's going to win over some sort of, he'll get him points with some group, I suppose, within this mess. I don't know why. Other than, well, I do know why. You know what? I think I know why. Why would Trump bother? Why would he put himself in a situation? Why would he want to help him get out and get back to making money and making a living? Why? Let's see. See if I can bring this up for you.
All right. Who took my gun? Who took it? Who took it? I was helping you guys.
Because he's a shitter investor. He helped Elon Musk buy Twitter. There you go. And Trump wishes his head looked like that. Yeah. Sean Combs is one of the investors in Twitter. So if you're still on Twitter, you're making Sean Combs money while he's in jail. You helped pay, to the extent that the investment was profitable at all, you helped him pay his legal bills. Yeah. If you're still on Twitter, you helped Sean Combs pay his legal bills. So that is why. That's why Trump would want him out. That's why Trump would want to give him clemency. That's why he would, he's not going to pardon him, but he'll let him out and get back to it. Because the reason he won't pardon him is because I don't think he can, but he can grant him clemency and allow him out because it's a state charge is the reason. So he can't pardon him for a state charge, but he can get him out of jail. And once he's out, because of in Trump's theory, I would guess, because he's in R&B and hip hop, having a prison record won't affect his ability to earn in this, I guess, in that business world. So he'll just let him out and let him get back to making, albums about his time in prison like he's a badass. And he can write, pimp songs about himself and think he's being cool. That's why. I think that's what I think Trump thinks about this, for real. Let him out and he'll start earning again. And then he'll start investing. He'll thank Trump, and then Trump will win with some sort of like semi-macho fucking bullshit group. All right, one more thing. I want to do hold on, see if this is play. Sorry, 1 second. Oh wait, hold on, pause here. I'm just gonna okay, here we go. And then I'm gonna get past this. We got a little bit from Gene and the Jesus Machine. We haven't seen these guys in a while. It's a different crowd because they don't have the same group. They're rotating them through, I think, because, I don't know, some of them can't perform on camera if they've got a ankle bracelet, something like that. But I want to check in with them on the 250, the Eve, on this Flashpoint live stream called God is Not Done with America.
Leon Benjamin, Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman, and my good friend Floyd Brown. Welcome.
Whoop, that's not good.
Welcome back, gentlemen. Good to have you all here again. Floyd, good to be with you. Floyd, we're a couple of days from the 250th. What do you think?
I think it is going to be the most amazing day for people.
By the way, has Floyd ever considered competing in a Madden lookalike? I think he looks a lot like me.
In America than they've seen in a long time.
Oh, wait, sorry. I just saw that. Hold on. Water Goddess, happy birthday tomorrow.
Donald Trump is personally curating.
Sorry.
The most.
I don't know why my audio's being funky now. It's God doesn't want me to mock these guys because they come pre-mocked.
Amazing, over the top party. It's going to run all across the nation, and it's exciting. I'm really excited to hear that you're going to be broadcasting that day, Gene.
Oh yeah, it's going to be super exciting. I can't wait to watch the Flashpoint broadcast because the stuff in between the speeches is really going to be the show.
The Flashpoint Army is going to be a big part of this nationwide celebration.
Flashpoint Army? Dude, you're not even the leggy.
This celebration of American exceptionalism.
Hold on,
Amen.
Where we all can lean into the fact that God created this nation for a purpose, and we are still.
I found my special purpose.
Living out that purpose because God is not done with the United States of America.
Well, yeah, I think we need to stay in the oven for. I'm thinking another 100 years. We might, people like to use cooked in the pejorative, but I think that, we don't want to do this raw. That just sounded dirty. It went in a dirty direction. I didn't want it to. All right, one last thing. Do we have time for this? I got 3 minutes left. There's no way I'm going to be able to hammer this. You know what? I know what we've got time for, and it's not the kidney. We have. Oh no.
has a very special place in the heart.
I think actually we'll go straight to here if we can. One second.
Time for a shameless plug. Oh yeah, it's shameless plug time.
Yeah. So the date on the 31st for Nerd Halen has been postponed. We're going to do that in a 3 show run coming up, and but in the interim, let's see. I'm going to. We have. Yeah, here we go. On the 17th, I'm gonna be at the. Hold on, let's see if I can. Where can I put this? I need this picture, and I'll take it over here and go. Well, that's too big. Look at that. I shrink myself down. I'm going to be doing stand-up at the Barrel Proof Lounge in Santa Rosa, trying out my new booker to see if we can get some new stand-up shows. Because I've been without one since my agency was eaten by a shark. And that shark was CAA. So I, at some point, I hope, hold on, let me see if I can do, we should do a border, and it should be motion, and then there should be a shadow on this so it looks better. It's so much better. And then we got to turn up the opacity on this thing. We turn it to the light, and then we just do it like that. That looks so much better. Excellent. So, and then I've got to, let's see, copy this, duplicate it, shrink it down a lot, slide it over to the other screen, and now you can see it on the vertical as well. But I will be at the Barrel Proof Lounge on the 17th and doing stand-up in Santa Rosa, California. So that's nice. That's fun. And this is actually a place that does music and stand-up and comedy or whatever. And so this is the place, I'm fairly certain, this is the place that Nerd Halen will be playing this fall. And they asked us to do this gig when we were doing San Jose, and I think we couldn't arrange it because we'd had other dates and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so there it is. And we had my dad's memorial service because I think that was one of the dates they offered. So we've been shuffling it around. So on the 17th, I will be at the Bulletproof Lounge in Santa Rosa, and that's pretty cool. Also, like and subscribe. I think the other thing that you could do would be lovely if you could just do that kind of thing. Just subscribe. Also, great, free. Doesn't cost you anything. Let's get to 100,000. I know we could do it. I just want one of those little plaques. Is it too much to ask? I just want one of the little silver plaques, and then I won't bother you again until we hit 1 million. You know, and then diamond level. But we'll work that. I'm going in stages. But I think it's possible. I mean, as a matter of fact, I know it is. Because I believe in you guys, and I believe in the people that watch the show and stuff. So let me, let's see. Move this up here. Yeah. And then I'll move this guy up here. Same thing. There we go. Now I'm in front of it. That's good. Hey, boink, boink. What a handsome fellow. So, and you're right. With the gamma turned low, I do look much more pale than usual, but I'll work on it. It's hot outside. We'll have plenty of time to get a tan soon. So that's that'll be my shameless plug. We'll shut the show on that, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I got to prep for the radio show tomorrow. Johnny Million will be back with us, which is great. And I think he did a live stream today as well, which is lovely. He's been sorely missed. They've got an RPM show tonight. And then Phil will be on us. Philip Ittner will be with us tomorrow. And you guys know that the building, like less than a block away from him, the building attached to his building was struck by a missile by the Russians. And he made if you check out his channel at Philip Ittner on YouTube, you can see the short that he posted about that from the site, because he literally just walked down the block, and he's doing all right. He's but the guy's in a war zone, and it's real, and he's one of our favorite people for a reason, and we're all very impressed down here, I can tell you. So hit the like, share the show. Yes, really. And I will see you guys. Let's see. Boink. Love you guys. Oh, staff chat. Okay, I'll look at the staff. Where did it? Oh, there it is. It was hidden behind my audio thing. Yes. Chat is asking, is it going to be for Patreon? Yes. Yes, I believe so. If I can't live stream it for Patreon, folks, I'm going to record it and then post it for Patreon folks. I just don't know what their capacity is, and I will be showing up there sort of because I have family here and all kinds of shit going on. I will be flying in the night before, very late, and because I don't like flying on unless I can get a really early flight and then whatever. But I will be flying in, and then I'm gonna have to go to the venue and see what they have. I'm gonna advance it a little bit. But if I can live stream it, I absolutely will for our Patreon folks and our YouTube members. And eventually I would like to try and do it for Twitch subscribers, for those, because I feel like, if you're paying to watch the channel in any format, and you make it happen, I want to be able to give that to you, not make you have to do it in two different places. I know that might cost me money for people who are one or the other, but I appreciate you guys, and period. That's it. It's why, again, the real reason I do this, the show the way I do it is so, and I give away that show to the people who are members and the like, is because I don't do anything behind a paywall in regards to the show and the politics and all the stuff that I'm doing, because I think it should be out there, and I'm not going to. So any way I can kind of give you guys a reward for helping us, keep the show on it, that would be great. What about pirating a cam video of the show? Look out. Only Hal. But that's what I'm going to do. Thank you, Crystal. Appreciate it. And so, so I'm going to, I will do whatever. If I can't post it live, if I can't live stream it because they just don't or can't, I will tape it and post it after the fact. And it may be that they don't want to live stream it because they're afraid people will watch it at home and not come to the show. And by the way, speaking to that, if you're in the area around Santa Rosa and you want to come to the show and you're one of our Patreon supporters, let me know, and you and a guest can come to any show that I put on, and I will make that happen. So as long as it's my show or a Nerd Halen show, obviously if I'm on Sexy Liberal or something, we can't do that for whatever, unless I can work something out. But we only have one date from that. Are you guys adequately pushing Steph for more shows? Come on. Let's make it happen. Anyways, I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. And look, there's nothing wrong with being really excited about how miserable the maggots are. It's kind of fun. It just is. Just saying. Well, hold on. This is the one. I just feel like this one right now, if that's all right. Sending it out to my favorite people out in Scotland. Stay old, Boston Brian. That's right. Feel it. Boston Brian rules. Don't forget to subscribe to his channel and Phil's channel and JoJo from Jersey's channel and Texas Paul. Come on now. Love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
Moon River.
What's up? Who's next?
Now, in the name of Zeus, you get out of yourself.
I got news for you, pal. You ain't leading but two things right now. Jack and shit. Jack left town.
Hail to the king, baby.
Shut up, Meg.
Like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
I'm your huckleberry.
Groovy.
Throw me a frickin' bone here. I'm the boss.
I am a cow. 9,000 completely.
Dr. Evil.
I'm getting whiplash for my burps, eh?
That's just bullshit, Joel.
Wow. Action replays in magnified portion. Corona means Italy. The kidney has a very special place in the heart. Not good.
Potatoes and chicken. Tariffs. Potatoes and chicken.
When they gaze upon the Semites,
Potatoes and chicken.